opinion, fighting was the first sport. Two men were put on this earth and somebody threw a punch. And if people were around, they watched it. You know what I mean? Fighting is, I don't care what color you are, what country you come from, or what language you speak. At the end of the day, we're all human beings, and fighting's in our DNA. We get it and we like it.
Hey, it's Damberlin, the Sports Junkie, and I am joined by UFC President Dana White. You seem to enjoy a bit of a godlike status in Toronto, where we are now. Huge turnout today to promote around the GSP's next fight. But I don't know about godlike status. I don't know, man. I think so, man. You're pretty popular.
I think you know what it is I say it all the time. This place is the mecca, for mixed martial arts. It's our biggest market. And one thing about me is the fans always come out, whether you're a fan or whatever you do, people come out and just tell me, I love what you do as much as you do. That's what it is with me, You see a big difference. If I'm here, or if a guy like Chuck Liddell is here, you know what I mean, guys like that, people just show up and tell me how much they love the sport.
Well, I gotta know, man. I mean, we talked about the Ontario government, their leaders saying he's not making it a priority right now to legalize MMA here. But at the same time, you remain confident. I mean, what is it going to take for it to land here in Ontario?
Yeah, my opinion is it shouldn't be on the top of his list. The world is in probably the worst economic crisis in the history of the world. The unemployment rates are through the roof. All the healthcare stuff. I mean, all the stuff that's going on. Should MMA be a priority on this guy's list when he's running the government? Absolutely. Absolutely not. But what he didn't say is it's not on my list. And we remember a day and time when he was saying that he didn't like it, didn't want anything to do with it, and he's not saying that anymore. That's a positive thing. It's not a negative. And, is Ontario taking longer than I thought it would? Yeah, but, it's going to happen. I feel confident.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, the next election in this province isn't until October of 2011. I mean, are you willing to wait that long to see that dream come to fruition?
I'm willing to wait till 2030, man. I mean, whatever it's going to take and however long it's going to take, we're not going away. And we're going to keep plugging along.
Well, I got an idea for you. I think if Dana runs for premier here in Ontario, get all the votes, man, and you can bring it in basically.
Trust me, the last thing you're ever going to see me doing is running for a political position.
All right, so he's not going to be the next Schwarzenegger. But here's another question, man. I mean, New York, Toronto, I mean, the recent news with Germany, and they're sort of banning some of the airings of UFC events. Maybe take us through the roadblocks and the process of what the UFC has to go through to get through these, to get to the people and the fans and make it a reality so they can see these events live.
Yeah, I think we've done all the right things. I think we've done all the right things up to here. And like I said before, you have to remember a day when this guy said, there's no way, I'm not interested. Now he's saying, it's not on the top of my list. And everybody went crazy and said, oh my God, this is negative. He said it's not on the top of his list. He runs the government. It shouldn't be on the top of his list. He'd have bigger problems if this was on the top of his list.
Well, listen, I know I'm taking up your time, so my last question is, you close your eyes and you envision 5 years from now what the footprint of the UFC is going to be like here in Ontario. What do you see that to be?
I think in 5 years we'll have pulled off probably 5 events, 5 successful events, and possibly the biggest attended event in history, in North America.
Well, let me ask you, man, if you were to look in and give a message to Dalton McGuinty, the mayor, or the premier of Ontario, what would you tell him right now in terms of bringing MMA to Ontario?
I'd say keep doing what you're doing. I know, I'm confident on where this guy is at, and keep doing what he's doing. He turned around already from hating it to saying he would never doing it to saying it's not on the top of his list.
Well, my message is get MMA legalized here. The fans want to see it. Dana wants to see it. I want to see it too. Dan Berlin for the sportsjunkie.ca. We'll see you next time.